Oh, you're still filming?
It's still going?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I want that to be smoother than it was.
Hello, I'm Hugh Warren with Trustmark National Bank, and it is currently my honor and privilege to serve as president of Madison City Chamber of Commerce. The Madison City Chamber of Commerce is celebrating its 30th anniversary this year. The Chamber continues to flourish and be a strong voice in our community with over 600 active members.
Yeah, I'm Ken Jacobs, graduate of Madison Regional High School, 1955. We were the first members of the Chamber of Commerce. There were very, very few businesses in Madison, so it was not many people at the meetings, and my wife primarily attended the meetings. And of course, I think the main objective was to try to get the few people that were in business at that time to join the chamber. We've certainly lived to see quite a change in Madison and the growth and the new businesses.
I'm John Anthony, Program Director for Mix 98.7 Radio. I was the Chamber President in 2009 and found that it was an easy way for me to get in as far as in the business community, which is important. This was a new job for me. I had just moved here in '05, so becoming a part of the fabric of the community was kind of important to me.
We were in the drugstore business for 28 years. The first drugstore was located where Persnickety's is downtown on Main Street. About a year later, we moved east across the railroad track, across from what is now the Red Caboose, and we opened up a new drugstore there.
I have lived in Madison since approximately 1978. I'm an old antique dealer. I had a little antique shop when I was 12 years old. I collected things and was in Richland, and my business grew and I needed to expand it at 15 years old. And I moved next door to Madison Town Hall on Main Street. That's where Persnickety is.
Yeah.
It was the town hall, the library, my antique shop, and Pick and Paw Pottery, and in the two-story brick building there was a little general store. So that was Madison.
My name is B.C. Rogers, and I'm a past president of the Madison City Chamber. I'm one of the owners of Persnickety Gifts here in Madison, and I'm the founder and creator of Women and Ivy Sporting and Travel Gear. Well, when we bought Persnickety, we had a ribbon cutting, and we've had businesses in other cities, in Mississippi and other states. And I was so surprised at how the community came out and was, we had 100 people at a ribbon cutting at a gift shop. I was really impressed that they had that kind of involvement in community outreach. So I really felt like I should get involved. So I did. I was then elected onto the board of directors as a presidential nominee, I guess 7 years ago now. And then I've served on the board ever since.
You kind of have a progression when you start with a chamber. Most people, and I probably speak for most of the past presidents, you start as an ambassador, you become involved, you have a passion for what the city is doing and you want to be a part of it. And by the time you do an ambassador, a year or two of that, and then you become a board member, and then a vice president, and then a president, and then you are on the board for an extra year as a past president. So you're looking at about a minimum of a 5-year commitment.
I will always be a member of the Madison City Chamber of Commerce. The events that we've done to bring our community together, our business community together, we've made a priority of branding our business community as one cohesive unit. All of our business leaders in Madison are friends. We try not to carry the same lines as each other. We try to support each other when we have events. And that's all sort of coordinated through the chamber and the great staff there.
So we needed to support each other in business and suggest to people who came in our store to consider shopping with other local businesses. And that's
Very few.
And there were very few. There was Price's Mercantile. They sold everything. Hoop cheese, horse collars, and that building is still there today.
That's the old building downtown. It's on the north side of this Main Street of Madison.
So, enter 2009. I'm the new president of the chamber. We had a challenge because we were in the middle of a recession at that time. And amazingly, we had a lot of different businesses opening during that time. It could have been a really slack time, but actually we flourished during '09, more than most of the local economies. The probably side effect of the economy of that recession was that as a result of so many people being laid off and being forced to go into another career, a lot of people decided to go into business for themselves. And in doing that, this was a nice place to land. And it has a great support system from the city as well as the Chamber of Commerce.
The reason why I want to support Madison is because Madison supported us so much, and I've seen the other way. We've been in communities where, not that they weren't supporting us, but you just didn't get that kind of community involvement. That was what was such a bold thing for us, my family, is seeing the difference and how great a job that all the way from Mayor Mary and her administration, it all trickles down.
Madison is unique. It's unique in that it started with a solid residential base, and then the economic development behind that's allowed it to have a solid, the residential tax base. And I'm not an economics major, but I do know that when you get the people there, the business will follow, and consequently it has over the years. But even during that downturn in a national economy, Madison flourished because these were their customers. If you were opening a new business, this is where you would want to be, in Madison.
Under construction now is Primo's, also the Marriott Courtyard. Notice this brick.
Yeah.
Primo's is brick. Georgia Blues is building a bigger restaurant, and C-Spire and Starbucks. And more to come because they own a lot of property further
For
south.
the longest time, Madison didn't have a grocery store at all. So people would come in the drugstore and they'd say, Polly, Ken, when are we going to be able to buy fresh lettuce in Madison? I said, I just don't know. Fresh lettuce is not our department, but we were thrilled when we finally got a grocery store
All
in
of that
Madison.
property behind the drugstore going north where the little eating places and little strip mall and all that was strawberry patch. So that Madison was the strawberry capital of, I guess, Mississippi or even larger area.
Yeah, they said it was the world.
But
A lot of people tell this story. Some know it, some don't. But with the coming of Walmart's a great partner for the city of Madison, but they have a standard build-out that they do everywhere. And that wasn't the case when they came to Madison. They presented their building plan, Mayor Mary, and the Board of Aldermen and whoever else is involved, and Mary looked at it and said, not gonna build that here. And I said, oh, we'll build this everywhere. Not in Madison, you're not gonna build that. So the powers that be with Walmart found out that they would have to up their game and do something a little outside of their box. So what you see in Madison now, you really don't see that store anywhere, except maybe someone else who has had building codes that are as strict as Madison's.
It has been a wonderful opportunity and experience to be able to be with the mayor as she does her, I guess, her role as the mayor with the welcomings and ribbon cuttings and groundbreakings. She is such a positive influence in our community and such a strong part of why Madison continues to be ranked nationally for family-friendly, business-friendly environment. Yeah, there are some special things that she likes to make sure are in place, but I think overall that helps our city of Madison be consistently ranked as one of the top cities in the state of Mississippi and probably even the Southeast.
Is it challenging for some businesses to move to Madison and operate under the the rules of Madison? Maybe so, but they're not paying attention to the results. When I, as a business owner, embrace the covenants of Madison, it 100% of the time has made me money.
That was a standalone store for a long time. That Walmart was right there on Grandview, and there wasn't, when it was built, there wasn't really anything that was really grand about Grandview, except that it had this really pretty Walmart. But look at it now, there's a lot, things have popped up, and there's Walmart on one end, Sam's on the other, and they're growing, they're building. You've got we have a theater that looks like a Grand Opera House. Everything on the Grandview Avenue is something to be proud of.
At that time, primarily people would come into town just on Saturdays because the farmland, they'd come in wagons and horses and stuff like that. And it was so many of the farmers or what have you coming in downtown, you couldn't drive through the main street because they were all out in the street talking and laughing. And they had a movie that they could come and see in one of the buildings there, and it cost you a dime to get in there and see the movie. And to draw the crowd, they have what they call a serial special.
Cereal.
It would be a continuous thing.
Yes, we continue to grow. Businesses are moving in. I do not have the number, and I'm going to have that by year, but the number of groundbreakings and ribbon cuttings and welcomings that we have had are in the dozens, and I don't have that number right now, but it's several a week that we have with new business. People are wanting to come here.
The area on the east side of the interstate, Academy Sports, is under construction. Hobby Lobby and Nooks is coming. And there are other things that they won't tell me about yet. I can't wait to know about it.
Okay. The Chamber continues to shape Madison. Once again, going back to Mary and some of her policies for the city, we've got a great template that obviously is working. It's very positive, it's very productive. People all over the state and country want what we have here and copy that. And of course, we're able to look around the country and see what works best and pick out parts of that we would like to implement here and that fit us, that are suited for us here in Madison.